Hello, everyone. Real talk, real talk. This is your host, Joseph Brownlee, Body of Christ. Real talk. I just left off doing a podcast maybe about 15 minutes ago, and I had to say a little more. I was going to leave it like that, but I just cannot let this go. I can't let it go. And I think about this now. When I was younger, and I used to hear the stories of healing medicines and natural medicines and remedies. That was the famous name, remedies. And you heard people use that remedies, and it was almost stereotyped like voodoo and hoodoo and witchcraft. Why? Because I used to watch movies and hear about when it comes to healing medicines and stuff like that. You mostly heard it from the witchcraft, the gurus, and I don't mean in financial wise, but the gurus and the witches and the stuff like that. And that use they call them potions and magic potions, and a lot of that was witchcraft, and a lot of stuff they have used in witchcraft and demonic ways, no doubt. But you have to I think about it like this. Now, some of the things they use as witchcraft, especially when it came to the plants, now I'm talking about the animals and stuff like that, that so-called, their spirits supposed to have healed you. Is there a possibility without all that wickedness and wackiness they thought was demons or spirits healing you? It was just the natural healing power of God's natural plants. That had nothing to do with wickedness, had nothing to do with spirits, had nothing to do with blowing on it or how many rabbits they put around it or nothing. Could there be, I don't know this for a fact though. I know a lot of things are demonic. Could it be a possibility that a lot of the plants that they use could heal you anyway without all that maracaroo around it and stuff like that? Is there a possibility? Just something to think about. I'm thinking about a lot of things now. Now, I'm not denying that it's witchcraft. I'm not denying that it's wickedness, because the Bible talks about that. The Bible talks about wicked sacrifices and stuff. I'm not saying that. No, I am not saying that. I'm just trying to look at it and generalize it in a way. Could it be a chance that a lot of these plants, if you and I knew about it as believers, if we had the knowledge about some of these same plants that these demonic and these witches have used, could we have just got the same thing without all the witchcraft crap and all the other demonic garbage, and just learn how to clean them and use them correctly and been healed? Yes, I really believe that. I'm not going to give Satan the glory for these witchcraft and wicked healings that people do, that don't believe in God. I'm giving the glory to the things that God created, that they used and called it in the power of another spirit. You follow what I'm saying? See, now that's just my opinion. And why am I going here? Because I haven't even got into these books I have ordered. I got several different books about herbal healing, natural healings, because I have a little infatuation for it right now of natural healings. But why do I have a infatuation healing? Because I look at it as God's creation, His creation. And God, believe it or not, as a believer, and I'm talking to a believer, because a lot of the world already know this, not only here in the States, but also in other countries. And a lot of Americans have discovered this when they got out of America, about the healing power of plants. And I say discovered, not in the sense that they the one found it out and made it right. No, they discovered that these plants work, but it always been here on the earth. Always remember, before man got a hold to it and started spreading and corrupting it here in America, these healing plants already been here. And a lot of them, from what I'm hearing, and when I look at these books, a lot of them has been in our backyard, our front yard, our side yards. We grew them in the house in bowls. A lot of those plants was here more than just their beauty. They was healing mechanisms for our bodies. Not so much to eat them, but for different ailments. Arthritis. They was used for teas. They were used as ointments. And I'm thinking about all this stuff, man. The power of the remedies of God's plants that many believers. I'm not saying every believer, because a lot of believers know that I'm one of them. Didn't know it. That has been using these God-given remedies for years, but people have been calling it voodoo, and they've been called names. Even I've heard from the past when some of the ladies got persecuted, they was called witches because they was all witch doctors. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, because they was using certain remedies and plants to get people healed. So they was called witch doctors, I believe, because people were so used to just traditional modern medicine. So when you come talking about people being healed from natural plants and trees and barley and stuff like that, that was foreign to a lot of, you would say, traditional doctors, I believe. Just like today, a lot of doctors know there's a lot of healing medicines out there. Doctors already know even some of the contaminated medicines that they use today, that they call healing medicines, that don't do them make you sick, and stuff like that. It's from plants. They know that. But they know they can't let you know that because they don't bring no kajin that does not bring any profit. Now, let me digress. I've been on this lifestyle diet called the carnivore diet. They call it the carnivore diet. I call it the all meat diet. I've done an all meat diet as close as I can for over 9 months straight without eating any vegetables, without any fruit. No fruit, no vegetables, no ultra processed frankenfood food and nothing like that. No Kool-Aid, no juices, none of that. Just consuming meat products that I like, and that's it. And certain beverages, low in sugar. I've done that, or no sugar, but maybe a sweetener or something most of the times. 9 months I've done that. Just cutting the sugar, the ultra carbs. I can't blame it on the vegetables, and I can't blame it on the fruits, because I didn't eat a lot of that anyway. But just think about it. You hear the song and dance about you must eat your green vegetables, you must eat your fruits and stuff like that to stay healthy. I rebuke that in a sense because I just ate meat and I was healthier than I ever been for a long time just eating meat. So that's not scientifically true. That's just an observational statement. I didn't know that then, but I know it now. That's just an observational statement. See? That's why I have come to the conclusion. Without eating any meat, you're losing a lot of nutritional values. And I'm not saying you're sick and you're in bad shape, because a lot of vegetarians and vegans are in very good shape. And then some are in bad shape and they have to take other supplements. Why? Because they're losing the nutritional values of eating meats. So meat is very important in the diet. I really believe that. But it don't mean you have to eat it, but I think you're missing a lot when you don't. My point is, even if a person eats meat and they despise vegetables because they heard the horror stories of vegetables and fruit, which I'm just so much against that now. The more I'm on this diet, and I think they can be kind of extreme, and they can be just as extreme as a vegan person. A lot of these carnivores now, they really get mad when people eat fruits or vegetables and knock them for that. Now, you coming just like the vegans. You need to watch yourself. You see? My point is there's benefits in all of them. I just think there's more benefits in meat. And I just think you don't need to eat any carbohydrates. Now, let me just define what carbohydrates I'm talking about. I'm talking about the good carbohydrates. Like some vegetables, some, and some meats, some, and maybe some nuts, some. So even honey at a time is a good carb if it's not abused or contaminated. So there are some good carbs out there. See, there are some good carbs out there. My point is I'm not anti-carb. I'm anti-ultra-processed food carbs. You see what I'm saying? So I believe some carbs are good. I believe some carbs are needed. Not to the debt. Now, let me say that I think some carbs, because I'm kind of in the middle of that. Do you need vegetables? I'm on the limb on that. I think you survive longer just on meat. I think you can survive and live very great on meat. But this is the key. This is the con of that. That you're going to be losing some potassium, you're going to be losing some magnesium, and if you can just only eat meat, and that's the problem, you get everything, which you can, which you can, but you have to replace it with something like electrolytes or whatever like that. So there is kind of a defect, not a bad one, when you're just eating meat. Just imagine adding a little potassium that's in a lot of greens or maybe avocados and stuff like that in there. Is that a bad thing? No, that's not a bad thing. So you got to watch when you talk about, I'm just all meat and I don't eat no vegetables, all vegetables are out there to kill you. No, I do not believe that. God made vegetables and God made fruit. So I understand the metaphor that because we're not supposed to eat certain vegetables, even some vegetables we think we're supposed to eat, we're not supposed to, because there is, from what I hear, some type of toxin or defensive mechanism. The saying is, there's vegetables don't want you to eat them. Well, animals don't want you to eat them either. So my point is, it's okay to eat vegetables, the decent vegetables that we're supposed to eat. The other vegetables, there's vegetables out there we're not supposed to be touching because it has certain poisons on it and to kill you on the spots. And a lot of those vegetables in other countries. But they're there for some reason. They're there for some reason. Then you have vegetables I think man just created. They just like they just mixed up dogs and made different type of dogs and Rockwellers and weird looking dogs. Man done a lot of things. I'm not talking about those vegetables. I'm talking about the vegetables. There's vegetables and plants out there we never even seen, man. Just like there's certain animals and fish we have never seen before. We don't even know it exists. It's a lot out there that we don't know that God created. There's not one man out there say they know what every plant is, and how every plant look, or how every animal look, or how every fish look. There's not one man, human being out there that knows that. We never seen every animal. We never seen, God created animals I'm talking about. We never seen every plant, or we never seen every insect. I don't care how scientific you are. And they will, an honest scientist will admit that. Now, my point is, with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left, it's amazing. A lot of these things around us that we thought was just maybe even weeds or they look weird or they're very beautiful, it was more to their beauty just for you to look at them and smell them. Even the smell of them is a healing mechanism, and we didn't know that. We could put them in water, and it's a healing mechanism for something. I'm just talking about the plants in general. Right in our backyard, growing up. We said, why is these certain dandelions grow this way? I'm not saying going around eating dandelions, don't get me wrong, but why is these things growing around? What is the real purpose of these plants that we throw up, we pull away? Some we know, but most of them we have no idea what they're really here for. And they can be a healing mechanism plant, and we never knew it. Medicine's right around us. But by traditional American way of eating, and some of them knew they was healing, and that's why they destroy a lot of trees and stuff now, and they try to say it's in the name of the environment. They know there's a healing mechanism in these trees and plants. I really believe that. Why they're so toxic on destroying animals and plants and trees now for the environment? Give me a break. Someone have discovered this God's healing power, and it's going to mess with their kajing. My point is, all this time, man, we've been having healing all around us, and we've been praying and asking God to give us a miracle and pray over us. God already done what he done under grace. By taking away the gifts, he left the natural gifts. Let me say this again. By taking away the supernatural gifts, he left the natural gifts here. And most believers, including myself then, not now, is lost. And we still looking for healing, and the healing right in our backyard. Wow. In animals and in plants. God bless you. Real talk, health talk tip. Peace out. Bye-bye.